Dane County is canceling its monthly test of the outdoor warning siren system, which was scheduled for tomorrow. The decision was made because of concerns that recent weather conditions could increase the risk of damaging the sirens. The below-zero temps and precipitation may have caused ice to build up in the parts used to rotate the siren heads. A network of 144 outdoor warning sirens are designed to alert people when the National Weather Service issues warnings for tornadoes or other severe weather. The next test is scheduled for March 4th.